Hi everyone. So my name is Tu, and for my community project this year, I decided to do a book drive in the school. So basically, when I first began my investigation, I had no idea what to do. I was completely clueless because I was new at the school at the time, and I had no prior community project experience. So these two main questions really helped me out during this. So the first question was that what inspires me? So this question basically helped me pick a topic that I enjoyed doing, something that I loved, and something that kind of motivated me. And the second one was that what community am I interested in getting to know and learning about and serving, so that I could target my community a lot better. Um, so something about me was that I really like to read books. Um, sorry, okay. So I really like to read books, and I also like to. Okay, I also like to bake, and so my mom, who told me to take all the things that I really cared about and kind of pay it forward. So from this, I was able to identify my goals. So my first specific goal was to kind of host a book drive at the school and to collect at least 100 books. And my second goal was to donate these books in a school in a rural area or a community that is in need of books. And I wanted to furthermore build the connections outside of school and also within my school since I was new at the time, and overall gain experience doing community work. And I identified the needs within the community, which was that they lacked resources, they had insufficient funds and insufficient support to be able to promote this kind of culture of reading within their community. And they also had a lot of language barriers because of this issue. They didn't learn much English, and this kind of limited them from all the textbook and literature that was available. So I created a global perspective lens, and what this was that it allowed me to look at my goal from kind of multiple perspective and um, multiple topics. So something that I didn't know could be kind of connected to my project was like scientific and technical innovation, because I don't know how could a book drive connect to that, but this diagram really helped me out with that. And so the first place I wanted to donate to was in Chiang in Sơn La, and it was a place that my mom had previously worked in 10 years ago, where she basically helped improve their waterworks network and their plumbing system. And so she provided me with the connections to a school there, and they were willing to accept the books that I wanted to donate. Here. Um, and additionally, my mom also mentored a few members from the disabled community in Vietnam and Hanoi. And from that, she met this amazing woman named Nguyễn Thị Ngọc Tâm, who was born with fragile bone disease. But despite that, she has been extremely motivated and she teaches a lot. And so she was also willing to accept my books I wanted to donate to her students. And so I began my planning. I created a community project proposal for action, and I provided this to my project supervisor. And in this, I had my plans for money, transportation, and like my overall timeline. And I created an iceberg diagram. So what this is basically on the surface is what my project would look like to other people. So it would basically be me collecting books and donating them to schools in need. But below the surface is the more technical aspects of my project. So it would be me reaching out to the schools and getting to know the schools more and their needs and what they lack. And it will also be me learning kind of how to promote my project and how I could um, pay back the donors in return, like give them back a token of appreciation. And so this is some extra planning that I had. I did a timeline and when I wanted to get things done by, as well as a little cookie recipe for the gifts that I was going to give back. I made these posters, one in English and one in Vietnamese, to pass out around the school to furthermore promote my project. I had the timeline of when I wanted to collect the books by and when I was going to be accepting donations. And so this is the taking action part. So I began making the cookies the night before my donation thing started. And I made about 36 cookies that night, but I ran into a little problem. And the next day, it was that nobody donated anything. So I got no donations. I had 36 cookies left over, and they all went to waste. And I just gave them away to my classmates. But from this, I reflected it back. I reflected it back on my process journal, and I kind of wrote down what I learned from today, what I was going to improve, what mistakes I made. And so, what I wrote in my process journal was that I wanted to continue promoting my project more. So I was going to be connecting with people outside of school and outside of my old class as well. And so these two amazing girls, my little sister and this other girl, Ling Chi, in seventh grade, they were the only people I knew outside of my class at the time. And they were able to help me kind of promote my project in different grades and to their class as well. And so thanks to them, all the books started coming in, and all the books started coming in, and it became a bit of a success because a lot of people started hearing about the cookies I was giving out, and it was overall really great. So these are the books that I started to get, and I began to organize them and get them all readied up to donate. So I created two Google Sheets. One was to provide to the first school, and the second one was to provide to the Miss Nguyễn Ngọc Tâm. And they basically consisted of all the books that I've collected, and in different sections of English and Vietnamese, and it just made it a lot more easier for the places to kind of organize them afterwards. And so the first place I went to was in Son La, the school in Son La, and the school there was extremely welcoming. They hosted a small gathering for me at the place, where a few students came, and I brought some snacks for them as well, and we just shared stories about our own schools, and about I kind of told them about my entire project overall, and they shared me more stories about their own school. Um, and so this is me with some of the students. I got to know a lot of people that day, and this is me outside of the school. This is me with some of the more individuals that I formed a stronger connection with, I guess. So this is the girl that I met at the school where they at the school, and this is another family that my mom knew personally. So I had lunch with them that day, and her and I still talk to this day through social media. And this is the second place I went to, which was in Nam Định. I went to Miss Nguyễn Ngọc Tâm house, and at that time she was teaching a group of students, and I got to really learn a lot about her teaching style, and she taught me a lot about her own personal experience doing community work, and that's her little library that she has at home. And this is me and her. And so to reflect on my overall success, I think that I was extremely successful, and I learned a lot from my community project. I learned a lot of experience and all the mistakes that I've made. I met a lot of new people as well and formed many new connections within my school and outside too. I collected over 600 books, and and these are some challenges that I faced. So the biggest one was miscommunication in my posters. I basically didn't really specify what texts styles were accepted, so I received a lot of old notebooks that people did their homework in, and so from this, I had a whole box full of waste books that I wouldn't be appropriate to donate. So instead, I sold them. Oh no, I didn't sell them. I gave them away to the scrap selling ladies in around Hanoi. And before I finish off, I want to share a quick story. It was when I was kind of cleaning out the books to donate. I found this old series that I used to read as a little kid, and at first, it it's about a group of chickens on a farm, which it might seem a bit silly at first, but I didn't really want to let donate them because they held such sentimental value to me. But after a while, I decided to give them away because it reminded me of why I wanted to start my community project in the first place, which was because I wanted to be able to share these amazing books that were filled with stories and and knowledge, and they kind of open our minds to different worlds. And the the opportunity for me to be able to share this with the less fortunate, I'm so grateful for. And I want to say thank you to everyone who has donated and contributed to my book drive, because without them, I wouldn't have anything to give. And my mom, especially, I want to say a special thank you to her. Ever since I was little, my mom has kind of devoted her entire career in helping people and supporting the less fortunate. And she's kind of inspired me to do this project entirely. And she's kind of been amazingly amazing and supportive throughout this entire journey. And I want to say a special thank you to my mom, who has taught me and given me the love that I have for books today. So thank you so much. And